Today I wanted to address a concern that somebody wrote in the comments on one of my videos, that he was in an older-younger relationship, sort of a generational relationship. And Doug and I experienced some of that with other couples that we met. We put an ad in the paper saying that we were a couple that wanted to meet other couples. And we're surprised that we met 13 couples. We had them at our house, not all at the same time, but over a period of a few months, 13 couples. Some of them were quite interesting. 2 of them were older, younger couples, or generational couples. The younger fellow was about 25, and the older fellow was about 65. And despite how that sounds, it was really a neat relationship. The younger guy worked at Make Company, and he worked out in the gym, really buff, very attractive, trim fellow. And the other guy was also attractive and trim, but he was much older. They had an open relationship. And there's a lot of pros and cons about that. But in this relationship, I talked to the older guy, and I said to him, well, how do you feel when your partner goes out and parties with other people his own age or has sex with people? And I says, oh God, it's great. You know, he's so attractive and we love each other so much. It's a question of trust. It's not, the issue doesn't become who you're having sex with, but who do you love? And if you love each other, you're not concerned if your partner, at least in most cases, hopefully, your partner goes out and has sex with somebody else just as a fling. And I always thought that was really neat. We knew each other for maybe 5 years and lost contact, but it was a very honest relationship, and there was no bullshit. In another situation, I met a couple where the young guy was in college, so he was like 22, 23 years old, maybe a little younger, and the older guy was probably 55. When I'd go visit them, the young guy was never there. He was always away at school, and I mean away at school. And the older guy was feeling quite lonely. I mean, he had this relationship. It was a love relationship. He was paying for the young man's college, whatever expenses. If he needed extra money, he would send it to him. And then on college break, whether it be Easter or Christmas or summer vacation, he would come home and they would have their relationship for as long as that break was, and then he would go back to school. In my mind, I kind of thought it was abusive, but it's not for me to say that. You know, maybe this was a very important relationship to both of them. And, I guess they're being honest. And that was kind of neat in a way, too. I met another couple just recently where the age group is probably about 40 years apart. And they actually got married last year. They knew each other for 12 years and then finally got married. And there's a lot of love there. That's quite interesting. So younger, older, or what we call generational relationships can work. Just have to be honest. Lay your cards out on the table. There's no point in cheating in a relationship because that brings out guilt and all kinds of bad things. But be honest about what your expectations are and what you want. And it can work. Thank you for listening.